Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, thanks for joining. As we are seeing, we are in the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, till now, what we covered, let us just uh, try to understand. Okay. Um, so, we covered till now the foundational concepts, which is explaining about how this four yugas been designed, okay, and how in each yuga, what is the way to reach Lord, and how long each living entity will live for in each yuga, and how much duration like each yuga exists, that we covered. Then what are the difference between various qualities of Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, like we have seen, and what is the difference between spiritual world and the material world, and how we can go from the material world to the spiritual world. So these are the things we have seen. And Monica Mataji, it might be a little difficult to follow you. I will send a separate slide which will help you to understand all these things. Okay. So then we started seeing the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna, happened in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Duryodhana, the Kauravas, didn't agree to give the lands deserved by Pandavas. So Krishna went as a peace messenger, but still Duryodhana was adamant that he will not give even a piece of land to Pandavas. So that is how the war was inevitable. So at the time, Krishna offered himself for one party and his army for the other party, where Duryodhana was a more interested to Krishna's army, and Arjuna was a more interested towards getting Krishna. As Krishna clearly mentioned, he is not going to lift any weapon, he is not going to fight, he will just only participate. Um, so that is how both the armies been assembled. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is called "Observing the Armies in the Battlefield of Kurukshetra." So where both the armies been assembled, at the time, both the parties blowing their shanka, and Arjuna, Sanjaya, who is a servant of Dhritarashtra, he is explaining to what is happening on the warfield, to Dhritarashtra, because Dhritarashtra was born on blind. So he's explaining, at the time, Arjuna was in confused state. He's not ready to fight, and he's giving these five reasons, not to fight. What are those five reasons? One is, he's saying, okay, I'm having the compassion on the Kauravas side. Kauravas are my brothers and my relatives. So how I can fight with them? So that is how he's giving the reason. He's having the bodily attachment towards the Pandavas, sorry, towards the Kauravas. Then he's thinking enjoyment by whatever I'm going to kill them and going to get the enjoyment. I am not going to enjoy at all. So why I need to fight? Then he's having the fear of a sinful reaction. He's thinking by killing them, I will get a sinful reaction. So let me not kill them. Okay. Then he's thinking a destruction of the family tradition. Family tradition will be vanquished, because uh, the men will be a less, and women would be more, so that the family tradition will be destroyed. So then he's unable to take any decision. He's finally surrendering to Krishna as a friendly form to the disciple form. So he's accepting Krishna as a master, and he's saying, "Okay, please guide me, how I can what I have to do, and how I have to do." So Krishna listened till now, very properly, and he is then start instructing to Arjuna. So that is what the contents of the Gita summarized, the second chapter name. So where Krishna first instructing Arjuna, okay, you are giving a reason, you are not going to fight because you are attached to their body. But first understand like we are not the body, but we are the soul. Okay, so that is how we need to understand. Then he's explaining like we are not the body, we are the soul, and he's explaining like the 30 characteristics of the soul. Soul is eternal, it is imperishable, it is like, okay, it can't be submerged in the water, it can't be put into the fire. So, soul is like, okay, very minute in size. So, there is no death to the soul, or there's no destroy to the soul. That is how he's explaining the Sankhya philosophy. This analytical study of the body and soul is nothing but it is the Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya philosophy, like, okay, the material world where we are, in which how we are associating with the material things, then our bodily platform, then it is called like, okay, matter, and the spirit is like a nothing but the soul. So this is how he is explaining the Sankhya philosophy. Then he is telling like a karma kanda. As a kshatriya, your duty is to fight. So get up and fight. If you didn't fight, then you will be ridiculed by your counter fellows and like a future generation, as Arjuna left the war field because of fear only. So that infamy, like you don't want to get, because as Kshatriya, uh, death is okay, but infame is no one can accept it, correct? Like so, and you are thinking by fighting you will get bad reaction or sinful reaction. No, as a Kshatriya, if you are not fighting to protect the Dharma, then you will get sinful reaction. So at the end of it, if you fight, if you win, you will get the earthly kingdom. If you fight, you are losing, like you will get the heavenly kingdom, because you are fighting for protection of the Dharma. So that is how Krishna is influencing Arjuna to stand up and fight. Okay, that is Karma Kanda. Then in this Karma Kanda section, what he is saying? You fight, you will get the result, you enjoy the result. Fall, okay, enjoy the fall. But next, how to get away from this bondage? That is where like he's talking about Buddhi Yoga or Nishkama Karma Yoga, where you work, you will get the result. Don't get attached to the result. Okay, that result results like a surrender to me. If you are surrendering those results to me, uh, who is Krishna, then you will not have to take rebirth in this material world again. Then you will not have any sinful reaction. So that is the reason, like um, you have to surrender those results to me. So then Arjuna having one more query. Okay, how is it possible? How the symptoms of a self-realized soul? It is called Sita Prajna. How that is Sita Prajna? They will carry themselves. They will talk, they will walk, how they will sit, all those things, like he's asking the queries. Then Krishna says, okay, they will be not biased to anything. They will always treat like the happiness and sorrow in a similar manner, and they will not bias. If someone prizes them, they will not get puffed up. If someone like despise or like someone scold them, they will not get like a demotivated. So they will be always in a same mood, like because they know like, okay, we are not the body, but we are the soul. Okay. So good and evil, like they will treat it in a similar manner. Uh, so then he's saying, okay, one who is not connected to Krishna consciousness, or one who is not doing the devotional service, okay, they will never be able to get a steady mind, and they will not be able to get a peace, and they will not be able to get a happiness. The similar thing, like Krishna will say in fifth chapter and sixth chapter also. Okay. Hare Krishna. So this is how the contents of the Gita summarize the whole second chapter. Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, where he is talking about Sankhya Yoga, then Karma Kanda, then Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Sthita Prajna. So these are the things like he is explaining. Then Arjuna is having a query on the third chapter, and the similar query like will be asked on the fifth chapter also. So Arjuna having query like, why Krishna you are engaging me in this ghastly warfare? If you think like a renunciation, is better than fruitive works. So, what Arjuna thought about renunciation is renunciation of the work. It is not renunciation of the work, because Krishna didn't ask like a, to renunciate the work. No, he just asked like a renunciation in the work. You do the work, you will get the result. That result only renunciate, so that attachment will not come to us. Okay, so then he is talking about the king Janaka, who's Sitamai's mother Sita's father. He performed all the duties in a proper manner, and he set the example for the future generation, for his common people. Correct. So the similar manner as Krishna, I also don't have any work to perform, but I am doing it so that others will follow properly. So this is how like he is saying, I created the Varnashrama Dharma. So each ashrama I given the designated task, what work has to be completed. So please like adhere to that and perform that. Okay, then he is talking about in that mood, just stand up and fight, like have the fighting. You start the fighting, so get up and fight, like that is what the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, which is 3.30, which says, okay, mai sarvani karmani sanyas adhyatma chetasaga nirasir nirmamo bhutva yuddha yashva vigada jvara. So, where you just stand up and fight without any lethargy, without any self motive, without envy. So, please, like, okay, without having any bondage, and you will attain perfection if you do in this manner. Then, immediately, Arjuna having a query. Okay, we know, like, these are the things not to be done, but still, how we are getting into the mode of lust. Okay, we are doing a lot of lusty activities. Um, so why we are committing the sinful action? Then Krishna says, okay, it is lust only, Arjuna. So then he is connecting the three gateways to hell. So we never wanted to go to hell, correct? Okay, so what are the things? Um, we have lusty thing, which is the desire to attain something which is not connected to Krishna. If you have that desire fulfilled, then that desire becomes greed. Okay, we want more, more, more once we achieve something. And if the desire is unfulfilled, then it becomes anger. So this is how like the lust, greed, anger. These three things are like a continuously keeping us into this material world, and we will never be able to go back to the spiritual world if we have this lust, greed, and anger. So, how we can get away from this lust, greed, anger? It is by controlling or engaging our senses, mind, intelligence, which is covering like all these things are covering the soul's knowledge. So we have to engage our senses, mind, intelligence towards Krishna. Okay, by doing that, we can get away from the lust, greed, and anger. Okay, this is how he is ending the third chapter, which is called Karma Yoga. Then he is going to the fourth chapter, which is called Transcendental Knowledge, where Krishna says, okay, this transcendental knowledge, what is transcendental or eternal means? Can anyone say? What is the meaning of transcendental or eternal? Hare Krishna.
So that is a divya knowledge. It will be for forever, infinite.
Yeah, correct. There is no, what to say, like there is no diminishing or no change or no destroy, like for this particular, no end to this message. For example, whatever we studied in grade 10 may not be applicable or may not be like a needed for us now. And whatever uh, we performed in the age of like a 12 may not be needed or may not be applicable now for us, okay, at this age. But eternal or transcendental means That knowledge is not going to change at all, and that knowledge is needed for our soul forever. Whether we are in this material world or we are in the spiritual world or wherever we are, this message is common and this message is not going to change. So that is what, like, it is eternal. There is no end or no destroyer, like, no loss to this particular thing. So this knowledge I explained to sun god Vivaswan, and from Vivaswan to Manu, and Manu to Ikshvaku. But over a period of time, like, this disciplic succession been broken, and whenever there is a decline in religion practice, and it is like a predominant of irreligion, then I appear millennium after millennium to re-establish these principles. So that is where he's saying, okay, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhana madharmasya tadatmanam srijamyagam परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतं धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Then Arjuna having a query. Sun god is very old in age, correct? Now you are explaining to me. How can I understand? You explain to the sun god. Then immediately Krishna says, both the life you and me taken, you remember only your life in the current life, correct? You don't know what you were as in the previous life or what you would be in the future life. But as a Krishna, like as a Supreme Lord, I know what happened in the past, what is happening in the current or present, what is going to happen in the future for not only one living entity, for all the living entity. That is massive, correct? That is how Krishna is establishing his authority here. I know everything what happened in the past, the present, and future for all the living entity, which is very, very massive, correct? So that is how Krishna connects the dots. Sometime we may say, okay, I do all the good thing, or that Prabhuji or that Mataji do all the good thing. How they are still suffering? Then we need to guide them. Okay, see, in this life they are not doing anything bad, knowingly or unknowingly, but we never know what they did in the previous life. Correct? So that is how, like, a Krishna knows what happened in the past for that particular soul, then accordingly he will give the right place and the right realization to go through. Okay, so then he's again, like, explaining the varnashrama dharma. Then he's talking about the action, inaction, and karma, vikarma. Karma is whatever duties assigned to us, like you perform, you get the result. That is called karma. Then akarma means you do the work, but surrender the results to the Lord, so you will not have any attachment. Okay, you don't need to take birth in this material world again. So that is called akarma, which is nishkama karma yoga. Then vikarma means like a completely forbidden action. Something said in the Shastra, okay, follow these rules. If we go against that, okay, completely like a going against, that is called vikarma, which we should never do. Okay. So then he's explaining like a different sacrifices, which is being explained for each asrama. Okay, Grihastha asrama and Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Okay, then Grihastha asrama, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. What are the actions or what are the tasks defined for each one of them? So that is how he is explaining the whole of the what to say, the different sacrifices for each varnashrama. Okay, this how he is ending the chapter 4, which is transcendental knowledge. Then we are going to the now we are in chapter 5, which is called Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So then in the fifth chapter also, Arjuna asking the same question, which is called like, okay, why Nishkama Karma Yoga is equal, um, why you are engaging me in this ghastly warfare? Like if the uh, devotional service is better than the fruitive action. Then immediately Krishna again saying, okay, it is not uh, sannyasa of the work. It is sannyasa in the work. Okay, that is what renunciation means. Sannyasa, correct? It is not renunciation of the work or sannyasa of the work. No, it is sannyasa in the work. So you do the work and surrender the results to me. Only surrender the results. Okay, then you will not have any attachment and you will be taken care. You don't need to take the birth in this material world. So in that, Krishna says, okay, Nishkam Karma Yoga is equal to the renunciation, but easier to perform than renunciation. That is how we saw the example of which one we saw for this Nishkama Karma Yoga and the renunciation. Both are work, but something is there. Okay, what we explained, like how we explained, which example we have given for that.
Prabhu, going by the lift or by the stairs. So going by
Correct.
the
Oh,
lift is
very,
like
very good. Yeah.
devotional service.
Yeah. So doing the devotional service, you take an example, you need to go from floor 0 to floor 100. You have two ways. One is going via lift, which is fast. Okay. The second one is going via steps, which will take more time than the lift. And we never know, like in between, you may get hurt also. You may be so tired, you may sit, like okay, you may call it for a day. Okay, no, I am not ready to go by stairs. This kind of hindrance will come, correct? The similar way, performing Nishkama Karma Yoga is nothing but going by lift, okay, which is devotional service. Do it fast and like reach the destination fast and don't get carried away like with other things. So that is what going by the lift. But at the same time, renunciation or sannyasa will take a lot of time. It has like okay its own challenges, whereas the Nishkam Karma Yoga is like okay, or devotional service or Bhakti Yoga is easy to perform. So doing the renunciation is equal to like a going to the 100th floor via the steps, which will take longer time. So that is how he's saying. Then he's saying like a perform activity in knowledge with detachment to fruits of work. Okay, you do the activity on the platform of knowledge. Okay, jnana platform, and having detachment to the fruits of work, you will attain liberation. You will go from this material world to the spiritual world. So that is what we have seen, like the three platform of knowledge, like three doers. One is soul, super soul, and the material nature. The soul desires, which is being fulfilled or approved by the super soul. Then the material nature is like a helping them to just perform that activity. Okay, that is how the whole of material nature, soul and super soul, they are the only three doers. If we think that, okay, I did this work, no, you are a fool. We can never claim for uh, any fame for whatever work we are doing because everything in our life, in all others' life, been done only by Krishna. That conviction has to be there. That is very, very important. Okay, so this is what we have seen. I think we were in the section D where we are seeing like okay, first we saw Nishkama Karma Yoga is equal. The performance, how we can do the Nishkama Karma Yoga. This- We have to work, but we have to surrender those results. Okay, that is what the importance. Then we saw the three doers: soul, super soul, and the material nature. Then we are seeing like how liberation through focusing one's continuous consciousness on the super soul. How we can achieve the Lord by just thinking about the Lord and Lord's name and Lord's glories. How Dhruva Maharaj, hope everyone knows Dhruva Maharaj, correct? Dhruva Charitram. Everyone knows, or like you want some explanation? Dhruva Charitra.
We
Yes,
know,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Yes, sir.
Okay. So for the benefit of everyone, Saraswati Mataji, you want to explain like the Dhruva Charitra quickly?
Yes, Prabhuji, I don't know.
Yeah,
Matlab,
yeah,
I
okay, Mataji.
heard.
Yeah, we will explain. Yeah. Saraswati Mataji, you want to explain?
Yeah, I'll explain in a brief. Like, I don't know, like in detail from Bhagavatam Prabhu, but
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
explain
sure.
it in a brief.
Yeah.
So Dhruv Maharaj, he's the son of Manu. So Dhruv Maharaj, he has a mother and he has also has a stepmother. And Dhruv Maharaj once goes to his father and he sits in the lap of his father, and his stepmother she gets angry, and she says that you're not capable to to take this position because it's my son who will be taking this position. And he is a 6-year-old child. He gets very offended by what she says, and then she says, in order to take this position, you should have born from my womb. Then you would have been capable to be sitting here, and you're also not eligible to rule as a king for this kingdom. And he feels very bad. He cries and he goes to his mother, like a 6-year child. He doesn't know anything. He goes to his mother. He explains everything, and his mother says that, see, we don't know, like, I can't tell you what to do, but one thing I can tell you is what your father and great grandfather has done, what your father's father, grandfather and great grandfather has done is, whenever they needed a kingdom or to rule, they always meditated on the supreme lord Vishnu, and the lord has given all the benedictions. You can also do the same. You can go to the forest and renunciate things, and then start meditating on the supreme lord, and the lord will fulfill your wish. And it is also true, like his great grandfathers and all of them, like even Manu, he got multiple planetary systems to rule, and his great grandfather, he got 18 planetary systems to rule. So then Dhruv Maharaj goes to the forest, and he starts to meditate, and then he approaches Narad Muni, and Narad Muni says that, Narad Muni suggests him, saying that, how to meditate on the Supreme Lord, how to meditate on the holy name, how to renunciate things. And he explains the process, how to take bath in the holy river and start his meditation, etc. Then he follows the process. Because he considers Narad Muni as his guru, and he follows the process and he starts meditating on the Lord. And the Supreme Lord, being pleased with his meditation, he appears. He asks Dhruv Maharaj, like, what does he need? And upon seeing, upon taking the darshan of the Lord face to face, Dhruv Maharaj forgets everything. Why he was meditating? Like he is least interested in the material things anymore. Then he says that, now that I got your darshan, I don't need anything. But the Lord says that, but since you meditated and since you wanted a kingdom, so I'll give you the complete planet to rule, like the earth planet to rule. So, which the lesson is, even if someone approaches the Lord with even some material desire, we should always approach the Supreme Lord, not any other Devi Devtas, so that first of all we'll get the best of the material things. But being devotees, like devotees generally don't need any material benedictions. They just meditate on the Supreme Lord to get Krishna Prema. But this is just an example that Dhruv Maharaj has set for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might not
No,
have
no,
clearly explained it because
no,
Sunidhi and
Mataji.
all the names I don't recall.
No, no, you explained it very nicely. Like, so only couple of things to add. Thanks, Mataji. Like, thanks for explaining very nicely. So only a couple of things to add. Like, Dhruva Maharaj's father name is like a Uttanapada. Okay. Then his mother name is like a Suruchi. Then the stepmother name is Suniti. Okay, Suniti. Suruchi is a stepmother, and Suniti is like a, her mother name. And uh, while he was approaching Narada Muni, Narada Muni was saying, okay, he might be because 6 years old. Okay, sometime our kids also wanted to do something, and they will be like, okay, adamant to achieve something. We know like they may not be able to go through that hard rules like okay to be in the forest and without having anything and the animals will attack. So Narada Muni is saying no, 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 like a Lord will fulfill, like you go back to home. But Dhruva Maharaj was very clear. Please, if you know like how to reach the Lord, how to see Supreme Lord, then only tell me. Like otherwise, please give me the way like to go back to forest. So then Narada Muni says like Om Namo Narayanaya, like okay, this mantra you Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and Om Namo Narayanaya, like please you chant this mantra. How he was following that, it is very very strict vows. Like okay, initially he was consuming like only once in a day some fruits and leaves and like if some vegetable like okay available in the forest. Okay, then the next month he stopped consuming like those things also. He had only water. Then the next month he stopped water also. He had only like a patra, the leaves. The next month he stopped that also, like he was having only air. He was um, consuming like a only air. Then the next month he stopped that also, like a then the whole Varuna Bhagavan, everyone like a going and complaining to Lord, like this boy is like a so adamant to achieve something, and please like a fulfill his desire. So that is where like a Lord appeared in front of him, and at the time um, Dhruva Maharaj is saying to Lord, okay, I was asking some broken pieces. Okay, he is considering kingdom as a broken glass pieces where I am seeing like okay, the gem of a gem in front of me. So how unfortunate I am. So that is how like why we are seeing Dhruva Charitra in this aspect is our desires. Okay, our desires has to be on the spiritual platform. How I can reach Krishna, how can attain Krishna, how I can go back to the spiritual world. So that is what our desire has to be. Then Lord will definitely fulfill. As Saraswati Mataji mentioned, Lord will fulfill all of our desire, because as a soul we are desiring, and super soul will approve, and the material nature will fulfill it. Correct, like as a agent. So the similar way, if we have the spiritual desire, then Lord will definitely fulfill. That we have seen in the other sloka also. Correct. Krishna Bhakti Rasavavidamadagi Kriyatam Ati Kuto Labhyade Tatra Lavlyam. That Lavlyam has to be there, that desire has to be there. Tatra Lavlyam Apimulyam Ekalam Janma Koti na Sukritit na Labhyade. So that is how like we have to have the desire, then super soul will fulfill, and the material nature will help us to do that particular thing. So this Dhruva Charitra, so then Lord given like okay the Dhruva planet, like we have the Dhruva pole, correct? Like the Dhruva planet is being given by Lord, which will never get devastated. It will always be there. Like okay, it is a very auspicious pole also. Like okay, so that is how he given, and Dhruva gone to that Dhruva pole. He will be a permanent king over there, and he has been given the same body like he went over there like to rule as per the desire of the Lord and the order of the Lord. So this is what like a states us how to do the devotional service in a perfect manner, how to desire for spiritual activities. Okay, Hare Krishna. So let's go to the uh, 5.18. Monica Mataji, the Zoom meeting will end now, and please rejoin, okay, so that we will continue until 9 o'clock. Just
Okay.
five. Okay. So 5.18, it's very important sloka. Vidya Vinaya Samfanne Brahmane Havihastine Sunichaiva Swapake cha Pandita Samadarshinaha Vidya Vinaya Samfanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Swapake cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Anyone wants to recite? Because this is very, very important sloka.
I can recite, Prabhu.
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane.
Yes, Mataji. Please recite.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah.
विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि सुनिचैव स्वपाके च पंडितैः समदर्शिनः.
Yeah. So the humble sages, okay, by virtue of the true knowledge, is what we are seeing by how on the jnana platform we can attain the liberation, we can go back to the spiritual world. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana. So that is what Brahmana, Brahmane. Then Gavi. Gavi means like a cow. Hastini. Hastini means like a elephant. Okay, that is the reason it is called Hastinapur, correct? Hastinapur is like a because it is a city of like a elephant, so it is very very a powerful city, correct? Hastinapur. Even now also it is there, correct? Like a Hastinapur. Then Suni Chaiva. Suni means like okay a dog. Saiva Swapakecha. Swapakecha means like okay a dog eater. So the humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, with equal vision, like he will see with equal vision a learned Brahmana, a cow, elephant, dog, and dog eater. He will see it same. But how he can see it in, all of them are as the same? Because he is not seeing on a bodily platform, but he is seeing them as a Vishnu. Foundational slides like hey, which Vishnu in all of us? How which Vishnu is represented or like is present in every one of us, all the living beings.
Prabhu Chirodakshay Vishnu sitting in the
Kshirodakshaya
heart.
Vishnu. Very good, Prabhu. How many Vishnus are there? There are three Vishnus. One is Mahavishnu or Karna Udagashaya Vishnu. Then from him, like okay, all the pores of his body, universes are getting formed, and in each universe, like okay, then Garbhodakashai Vishnu is there. Okay, in that Garbhodakashai Vishnu only, like okay, from his navel, the Brahma comes. Okay, in his lotus feet, the Mahalakshmi massages her lotus feet, and he is sleeping on the bed of snakes. Correct, like Ananta uh, who is represented as Balrama, then that Garbhodakashai Vishnu, like okay, from his navel, the universes are getting formed, and in each universe, like a various living entities are there, and each of the living entity, Lord is present as a Kshirodakashai Vishnu. Okay, so in me also that Vishnu is there, Kshirodakashai Vishnu. In every one of us, Kshirodakashai Vishnu is there. That is the reason, like okay, they say, please don't scold or like don't do wrong to anyone because it is as good as we are doing it to Krishna, like the wrong things. If we are doing, okay, we should not do that. So that is how like our Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma. It is not explaining like only okay give the respect to the human being. No, it is saying give the respect and like importance to all the living entities. There are various living entities that has been classified as 84 lakh species, correct? 84 lakh 8.4 million species are there. Human is top among them. Okay, the dog is one among the species, elephant is one among the species, fish, and likewise, etc., etc. So, in that, human is the topmost form, and we have to utilize our life like to do the spiritual activity, and we have to have this mood. Anyone and everyone, we should not look at the bodily platform. They may be like, okay, white in skin color, they may be dark in skin color, or they may wear very opulent dress, They may not wear like opulent dress, or they may be like a very very poor in the nature. But we should never discriminate the people on their outer appearance, because then we are getting one more chance to be in this material world or to go back to the hellish planet. We have to develop the mood as to treat everyone as equal, because we are not seeing them as okay. I'm not seeing Saraswati Mataji or Mosham Prabhu as Mosham Prabhu or Saraswati Mataji. I am seeing okay, Lord is present in them, and I am treating them as a devotee, and I am treating them as a Vishnu's servants or Krishna's servants. That is how we have to see. That is a good character or attitude to develop. By developing that, we will get away from the uh, lust, greed, and the anger. Because when the anger comes or greed comes, or like okay, the lust comes, when we start comparing with others, oh, that Prabhuji has more money than me, that Mataji has like okay, the big flat, that fellow, my colleague fellow, like has a very good car. So when we start comparing that, then slowly like our mind is registering all these imprints. Okay, it imprints, and it is getting registered in our mind, knowingly or unknowingly. And when things you achieve now, you will get rid of it. But when things you are not achieving, it will be in our mind, and uh, it will come as a pop-up message when the right comes. Okay, so when someone provokes, immediately will say, oh yeah, yeah, I should have bought that flat. I completely like missed that opportunity. See, he bought it, and he is enjoying nicely, or they are very very happy. I am not happy. So the problem in this material world is we are thinking we are the only one, we are not deserved, or like we are not getting that. Why I am only getting the suffering? Only why I am not happy? We are thinking no. It is not like that. Everyone in this material world is unhappy as long as they are not connected to Krishna. Because this material world is called Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Dukhalayam means it is a it is a place of miseries. Dukha Alayam. Alayam means like a place, and Dukha means miseries. Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Shashwatam means permanent. Ashashwatam means like a nothing is permanent in this material world. So that is the reason like a no one can be happy in this material world if they are not connected to Krishna. When the Krishna consciousness devotees, you can see them so much happy than others, because they are connected to Krishna. They are able to do the devotional service. But all others, like karmis who want to enjoy their own benefit, who want to fulfill like their senses, then they can never be happy in this material world. It may be like they may be happy one minute, or like a 1 hour, or 1 day, or 1 month, but definitely like the bad things are going to come, because this world is designed in that manner. Okay, nothing wrong in that. This world is designed in this manner. Like if not, we in that Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, in that place of miseries itself, we want to stay here for longer time. If everything is like a very happy in this material world, then we can never get a chance to go back to the spiritual world. So that we have to understand. Any queries here? Like because this very, 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 very important sloka. Because first of all, we will get a chance. Okay, I am getting associated with Vishnu. Okay, I am getting a chance to connect with them on a on not on a bodily platform, but on a spiritual platform. This understanding has to be there. We need to make it as a practice in our daily life. This is very, very important. Any questions here? Please feel free to ask any of your queries or questions or feedback. so that we know like whatever topics we covered, everyone understood. That is very, very important. We don't want to just like a rush to cover the slokas and to finish the class. No, we want to understand the concept because this knowledge is eternal. This knowledge is transcendental knowledge. It is coming from Krishna to Arjuna. It is not coming from like a any ordinary teacher or like any ordinary human being. No, it is coming from the Supreme Lord, who is the owner, who is the possessor of everything in this world. Whatever we see, whatever we possess, everything belongs to Krishna. We are the thief, okay, or we are the caretaker who came to this material world just to take care of the things which belongs to Krishna. But we think that okay, we own everything. It is my house, my car, I. Likewise, we are getting attached to this material world, and we are not getting chance to go to the spiritual world at all. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any queries? So
No,
we have
Prabhuji.
okay, Marji. Yeah. So we have to treat everyone in the similar manner. Okay, let us see the slide. We will cover only this sloka today because I want to give the brief of like what has been covered uh, till now. So let's go to the 18th sloka. Okay. So see here, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Haviyastani. So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Havihastini Sunichaivasa Swapakechasa Pandita Samadarshinaha. So in that, equality of vision based on true knowledge. That is the real knowledge because we are not asking you to think it in a different way. We are asking like to do it in the right way, which is a true knowledge. That is called spiritual vision based on knowledge. So see this sannyasi is uh, is seeing like okay the brahmana, learned brahmana, and the dog, elephant, dog eater, he treats everyone as the same because he is not seeing, see here, everyone able to see, he is not seeing him as a brahmana or cow. He is seeing in the brahmana the Vishnu, and in the dog also he is seeing Vishnu, and in the cow also he is seeing Vishnu, elephant also he is seeing Vishnu, and the dog eater also he is seeing Vishnu. Hope you are able to see that Vishnu's picture in every one of them, correct? Dog, cow, dog eater, and elephant, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So that is how we have to see. That's what I told now. In the mundane, a person will see, okay, what are their, what is the species like, okay, whether they are human or whether they are like aquatic animals, whether they are like, okay, the forest animals or like they are, they can be brought in home, that they will discriminate, okay. Then they will discriminate on the caste, and they will discriminate on the color, identity, and the society. This one, okay, they are rich or poor or like a moderate. Likewise, mundane vision. But the spiritual vision, what is the spiritual vision? Like a liberated, self-realized soul can see everything and everyone equally. They don't discriminate at all. Okay, because at the end of the day, like we all are part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna is present in every one of the living entity as a Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. So, by developing that mood, we will not scold anyone, we will not accumulate any karma, we will not have any jealous attitude, we will not have any comparison attitude. All those things like will get away. Then we have so much time to think about Krishna and how to love Krishna, how to go back to Krishna. Okay. What is that basis of equal vision? Spiritual equality of living entities as a spirit soul. They treat everyone not on the bodily platform but on the spiritual soul. They are all spirit soul. They are not the body. Okay. Then Lord neutrally present in everyone as a Paramatma. we have a super soul in every one of us, correct? Like that is what Paramatma, that is nothing but like a Kshirodakashai Vishnu. Okay? And he treats everyone as a friend, correct? Lord, even someone comes to pray to him, or someone, the atheist who doesn't come to pray him, or who scolds the Lord, he still gives them the chance, and he will treat them as a friend only. For example, okay, you have two children. One guy is very good in behavior, and he is perfectly like a doing the things whatever you are asking. The other child is very very naughty, and he is completely like a against the good behavior. He is doing all the bad behavior, like okay, and he is not at all adhering to the rules and regulation. As a father or as a mother, we will not reject that son, correct? The second one who is doing all the bad behavior, we will see how to correct him, how to bring the good behaviors in him. The similar manner, as a supreme father, Krishna never rejects anyone. He gives everyone the opportunity, as he is giving us forever. We don't know how many lives we wasted by not thinking about Krishna, by in this material world or lower planetary system. But we have to understand, we have to practice the devotional service, we have to go back to the spiritual Lord. That is our goal. So that is what, like he says, Lord Krishna treats everyone as a friend only. Bodies are the material productions of different modes of material nature. So it is not going to, it will be a dead body at the end of the day, correct? After we die, the body is not going to make any sense, because they will call is a dead body. When the soul is present in them, when they alive, they will call, okay, he is Vasant, or he is Mosam, or he is like a Sailaja, likewise. But when the soul departs from our body, okay, we will be called as dead body, and immediately like they will either cremate, like okay, or they will put a fire like into the body, correct? So they will call us dead body. So that we have to understand, while we are alive and while we are having a good knowledge and a good time to practice the devotional service. So then the understanding of soul and super soul. So this we have seen already in the second chapter, when Krishna says about the Sankhya philosophy, the soul characteristics, uh, the soul and super soul both are same in the quality. There is no difference between super soul quality and the soul's quality, our individual soul's quality. Okay, but there is a huge difference between the quantity. As there is one analogy also, the sea water, if you take sea water and ocean water, correct? The similarity would be like both are qualitatively same means like okay, both has the taste wise both resemble same, and like a taste wise like it is same, but the quantity is massive, correct? The ocean water is like a massive compared to the a river or like a pond water, correct? So that is where like that a difference will come in the quantity, and the individual soul is only present in that particular body, but the super soul present in all the living entity. Okay, that is another difference, like a Paramatma presence in all everyone's body. Okay, so with that, like we will try to end today's class. Any question, any clarification or any feedback? Hare Krishna. Okay, if no further queries, like we are good to close this session. Thanks all for joining. Thanks, Monika Mataji. Like I will send a separate note to you. Hope you are able to follow. It is not too fast to catch up, correct?